Carry. In fact, my colleague Mihir Trivedi, he actually put some of those questions across to somebody else from the glamour industry, Priyanka Chopra. Let's listen into what she had to say.
85% believe money gives power, and 90% believe that it's a facilitator to happiness. What's your take on money?
Well, money is important. In today's day and age, we can't deny it. It can't be your do-all and end-all.
Okay.
It's about what is cultivated in you as a thought. Ambition is very strong. Success rate, to want success, to want drive, to be rich, to be famous. That kind of desperation is there in the youth today, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Along with that, of course, comes money.
We've seen films like Aitraz, and also in fashion, you've portrayed roles of these women who are okay with the fact that they can offer sexual favors to climb up. Do you think these films are kind of the reflection of the youth today?
Films are fiction. They're stories that are being written, but they're stories which are obviously inspired from reality. Now, when it comes to, I disagree with it. I mean, I'm not being judgmental about people who think it's all right, or people. I don't think it's okay, because I really believe in merit. When you speak about Aitraz, she got married to a rich old man to become rich and to become more successful. And that is why I got the Best Villain award.
This recent crusade by Anna Hazare against corruption saw immense support from the youth, from across India. Do you think the youth, but for the fact, doesn't practice what it preaches?
We're a little confused, because we are at that point in the evolution of India where we are not blinded by what our forefathers told us, ki aisa hona chahiye aur yahi sahi hai and this is how you should do it. But at this, we have our own point of view, but we don't know how to direct it. We want to act against corruption. We don't want to pay cops and bribe them, and we are speeding. We don't want to, we don't want to do these little things of corruption which end up becoming a big thing, but we don't know what to do about
That's
it.
True.
We feel helpless. Yeah. So when Anna Hazare comes and he says, I'm going to do this, we support him, because then we feel ki hum kuch kar rahe hain. We're doing something about this.
Priyanka, you started very early. You started modeling very early. Then came Miss India, then Miss World, Bollywood, success, fame. In this entire thing, do you feel somewhere you lost your innocence very soon? And is that the case with the youth today? They are losing their innocence very soon.
I think so.
Yeah?
I did. I started working at 17. I was picked up from 12th standard and put on a stage where I became Miss World. I don't know what it is like to, hang out with friends, bunk classes. I don't know how it is to run into a theatre and not buy tickets, and, those fun things that you do, because I was working at 18, 19, the hours that I do today. So yes, I do think so. And even the youth today, for example, because, you're not as protected as you were 20 years ago. The world is your oyster, which is a great thing. But yes, the price to pay for it is that you cannot be innocent and, starry-eyed about everything. You have to grow up sooner.
Ruben, you had another perspective on the offering of sexual favors to rise in your career. Go ahead.
Honestly, I don't see the reason as to why we should be surprised. If people are okay with giving bribes on a matter of convenience, then it's just basically youngsters looking as sex is just another aspects of their life. So if they're okay with compromising on one aspect of morality when it comes to bribes, etc., this is just a compromise on another aspect of it. And it's an alarming trend, but yes, it is shocking. Shocking as in how morality has declined, but it is, if you kind of assume that the first is correct, then the second follows.
Interesting that you talked about how morality has declined. Anuja, I'd like to get you in there. You worked as an advertising professional for several years. This particular finding where we say 47% feel it's okay to offer sex to grow in your career. Do you think that's something new? Because, the one thing that we don't have in this survey is a comparison, say, perhaps to something that was done 10 years ago. Do you think that it's just being talked about more now and it's always existed, or it's something new? Morality indeed is declining.
No, I don't. I think people are much more vocal now. Everyone is living in the age of reality TV, and everyone is sort of just becoming more open about what they're saying. There are more forums for them to get it out there. You put out a tweet, everyone hears what you have to say on whatever it is. I just think that people are talking about it much more. And but the reality of the fact is that you may be very willing to offer sexual favors, but the point is that doesn't necessarily translate into doing better in your career. You know, I think that might have been truer a few years ago, or even 10 years ago, when people were kind of desperate and nobody was like giving anybody anything sexually. I feel now it's not such a unique thing you're offering. You'd better start working hard. That'll probably work much better, because people might just take your sexual favors and still do nothing for you career-wise, So I think that has changed.
Okay, that's a very interesting perspective coming in from Anuja there, but it's time to take a short break now. Still to come, we hear from the young winners of Miss India. Stay with us.
Earlier when I was not in this profession, I used to hear about something, casting couches there, you cannot know anybody, you cannot actually work out for yourself if you don't go through it. But trust me, I've not seen any couch around.
What's the most amazing thing you ever saw? Was it something big or something small? Or maybe it's something you haven't seen yet. Introducing the second generation of Intel Core processors. Stunning visuals and smart performance mean computing as you've never seen it.
Step out with a unique 3-in-1 formula for complete sun protection, skin lightening and a matte finish. Lotus Herbals 3-in-1 Sunblock SPF 40. Lotus Herbals.
I've decided graduation के बाद मैं जाऊंगा इस कॉलेज में.
मैं भी.
Shiksha.com. Stop following. Start exploring.
One always has to stay ahead to reach the right place at the right time. Because more speed means more time. Explore high speed with Tata Photon and Fast and Furious 5. Tata Photon. Get speed, get time.
Pizza Hut introduces Hot Dot. If the dot's not hot, it's free. Call 3988-3988.
TFC का है रोल यहाँ, TFC का है रोल यहाँ भी, जहाँ जहाँ पावर बनती है, वहाँ PFC फाइनेंस कर सकती है. हाँ, पावर है इंडिया के विकास में, TFC है पावर के साथ में है.
We are growing with India. We are Power Finance Corporation Limited. Investments in equity shares involves risks. For more details, refer to Red Herring prospectus available on the websites of SEBI and the BRLs.
I want to see the chef, please. This is the best Chinese I've ever had.
If it's Chinese, it's mainland China.
वहाँ सचिन 90 पे बैटिंग कर रहा है और हम लोग यहाँ बस के लिए ठहरे हैं.
Relax, public transport.
अरे यार बस स्टॉप पे टीवी क्यों नहीं हो सकता?
Relax, no idea.
Get idea 3G.
3G. Get idea 3G. Get live TV, video calling, super fast internet, multiplayer gaming and much more.
What an idea.
3G. 1, 2, 3.
बस बस जान दे बस. मैच देखना.
This is Network 18. And you are watching CNN IBN.
Welcome back. We've been discussing an MTV Youth survey that threw up some surprising numbers. CNN IBN Sunanda Wong quizzed the 3 winners of the Miss India pageant on the findings of the survey. One of the ladies began by talking about the anti-corruption campaign led by Anna Hazare.
Something like an Anna Hazare and a mass movement like that, it doesn't really help unless people individually, on an individual level, work things
Make any
out.
sort of change in their own lives.
Because, you know, for example, if you talk about going and paying an electricity bill, going and paying a telephone bill, you don't really want to stand in the line, so you might as well pay a few $100 extra bucks to get ahead of the line.
That's true,
So
and
on an
I
individual
believe all
level,
of us have done that at some point or the other. I mean,
exactly, on an individual level, we need to start making changes rather than join a mass movement and go to a dharna outside.
Which is also great, by the way. Which is
absolutely great.
But then corruption actually starts from the core, and it goes. And there's a hierarchy to actually follow it. But I think that anything which is done harmless, harmlessly. I mean, to say if it's not harming anybody, till that point of time, you can still actually gulp it down. But when it comes to harming, like say when she mentioned about paying $100 and getting your work done, it's not actually harming anybody else. It starts at a very small time, at a very small point where people think that it's actually harmless and we can do it. But then it outgrows it.
Even the $100 matter because you
It
are
completely
affecting the
matters.
people in the
Absolutely,
line, right?
absolutely.
You might think it's
a domino effect.
Yeah,
In some way or the other, it's a domino effect.
So yes,
Great, some very passionate answers there. So Anna Hazare or Shah Rukh Khan?
Absolutely, Anna Hazare.
Shah Rukh Khan, here I come. Do you think it's okay? A lot of our youth apparently believes it's okay to sort of, perform sexual favors to sort of get your way and stuff like that. Well, each to his own. Give and take. It's a world of give and take. Do you think you'll probably want to ease into something like that?
No, absolutely not.
I've been modeling for a year before this, and people will always ask me questions when I was in college, like, we hear things, we hear stories, and are you okay? I was like, I am perfectly fine. In fact, I have met so many amazing people.
Earlier when I was not in this profession, I used to hear about something, casting couches there, you cannot know anybody, you cannot actually work out for yourself if you don't go through it. But trust me, I've not seen any couch around except the black and the whites, which are actually resting around in the studio somewhere in the makeup room. There are no other couches.
Believe in yourself, and if you are clear about what you want to do, and if you are showcasing your talent like we've done on this stage and won a crown, we've done this without any hanky-panky. Exactly.
True.
So if you conduct yourself in this way, it won't be difficult.
I'd like to get you in, Ruben, on this one that I found very interesting, that 64% of men feel that money increases their sex appeal. Do you believe that if you have a lot of money, you'll have more chances with the ladies?
Quite being practical about it, this is how most people think, and I agree. I personally don't believe in it, but that's I think my personality is good enough for it. But I'm sure I know a lot of my friends. I know how do they think, and I'll agree with what their finding of the survey is.
Gillen is a man who's richer, more attractive.
Well, for me, it's not about the money at all. I mean, at the end, we especially being career women, we don't look, of course, it's a very important aspect of life, but I think just money, it's a huge number. 64% is a huge number, which agrees that it increases their sex appeal. I would say that I feel really bad for those men who feel like that. But no, I don't think so personally that it increases
around
or
you, do you see that women perhaps are more likely to choose a man who's financially better off than somebody else who might have a great personality?
Yeah, I guess that's what the research says clearly, that men feel like that. So I'm guessing that they feel like that because the women make them feel like that. So yeah, it's a vicious circle. What can I say? It's sad, but it's true.
Another statistic here is that 90% of the youth agree that money is a facilitator to happiness. Anuja, do you believe that money may not buy you happiness, but it's certainly going to get you somewhere close?
Yeah, well, I don't believe that because, I'm older and wiser than the kids you've surveyed, but I can completely understand them believing that, because everything that we are beaming at them, right, through television, through advertisements, through the films we are showing, very much shows money and happiness very closely linked, and that is the thing that they're picking up, that money and happiness, money can buy happiness. That's clearly what they're getting out of what we're showing them.
Right, so that's certainly something that most of us agree on, that at least the perception is such that, if you have a lot of money, you'll probably be a happier person.
Exactly.
But we'll have to end it there because we're completely out of time. Thanks very much, Anuja, for joining us. Also, Galen and Ruben. Hope you've taken back something from this survey, some of the interesting points that have been made here, something to think about in the night. Thanks very much for watching.
काम सूत्र कहता है, सब्र करो, क्योंकि सब्र का फल मीठा होता है। मैंगो स्लाइस।
यार ये बीवियां मुट्ठी में कब आएंगी?